Happy second day of Yule. Today, me and the wife will be doing what we like to do every year, which is a new Yule jar spell. So this spell manifests love, charm, good luck, success, and prosperity for the upcoming year. This is just something we like to do. We will use paper in our jars. I've chose red and green to signify Yule this year. And we just like to write down our wishes for the upcoming year, for all of those things. Especially, we're hoping for a lot more good luck next year. This year for us was not a very good year, but we still made it and we're still going strong. So hopefully next year we'll just pick up and be a little better. So for this spell, what we use is we have, of course, an empty jar. And then we use different spices and herbs for different meanings. So we have chamomile in the form of a tea bag because sometimes you have to improvise and that's all we had on hand. And chamomile is used for luck. Then in this jar, I have cloves, which is for luck and financial prosperity, ginger for self-assurance, nutmeg for love and passion, and then we always use, instead of ground cinnamon, we always use a cinnamon stick, and that is to signify passion. We have some orange zest, which is for health, which we desperately need in the upcoming year. Because me and my wife both have several health problems that we were dealing with all year. We then also use dried rosemary for clarity. And then the other objects that go into our Yule jar are, we use 8 coins to signify the wheel of the year. This year you can use pretty much whatever coins you have. This year I decided to use 2 pennies, 2 dimes, 2 nickels, a quarter, and then I had found a dollar coin. So I decided to put that one in this year. And then the last thing that we use are crystals that we will put our intentions into, and these crystals can be anything that means something to you. So me and my wife have both picked out some that we want to use in this. So for me, I've decided to go with onyx for strength, protection, grounding, and focus in the upcoming year. I have also picked out malachite, which is for change, protection, and emotional healing. I've been dealing a lot with my mental health over the last year, so I'm hoping that in the next year I can get over that a little more and keep progressing forward. So then those are the 2 that I've picked. The 2 that my wife has picked are Dalmatian jasper, which is good luck, positivity, and happiness for the upcoming year. And then she has also picked jade for wisdom, harmony, protection, and prosperity. And then we decided to pick one together. We both picked amethyst for calmness and clarity for the coming year. So we will, in our spell building process, we will kind of hold them in our hands and put our intentions for the upcoming year in them, charge them with that before we put them in our jar to finish off the spell. So then, after all that, if you're wanting to do something like this, the biggest thing is kind of just treat it like you would a recipe. Start with your ingredients and add them in as, like in recipes you use the quantity, but we're going with different levels of like herbs and spices. So we will add in all of those herbs and spices to our jar, which you'll see I'll have a video with just some music behind it for our privacy, and because we like to just do it more by ourselves, but I want to show you what we do but not necessarily have you listen to what we're saying, because that's a more private matter for us. But we add all of the spices and everything into our jar, and then before we add the coins, we will write down on the pieces of paper our wishes for the next year, and we will add all those in. We then add our coins, and we want the crystals to be the last thing we put in there. So we will bless the crystals and put our intentions into them, and then we will put them in the jar. We will put the lid on it, and then we have a saying that we say. So after this saying, we will seal the jar. I've got some ribbon, some gold ribbon to seal the jar with, and then each of us will tie this ribbon here that we have 2 pieces of it, so we're each going to tie that around the jar. And then we say one more saying with both of our hands on the jars, and we will blow out the candles to seal the spell. So this is what we're going to do. This is just a good way to set our intentions and wishes for the next year. We love doing this around this time of the year. And so I hope you enjoy, and I will be back tomorrow with probably some history and lore on Yule.